Hello folks, I'm Hita Rao. I wanted to speak about eclipses today. Now we have 2 eclipses in June and both of them are telling us to stay vigilant and remain cautious with all that is happening in the world. Some eclipses of course are more intense than others and so their impact lasts longer, but generally there's a 6-month window to see changes. One thing I always advise is don't make decisions the week before or after an eclipse. It's best to reflect at this time. In fact, the strong energy at this time is great for any sort of regular sadhana in your life, especially during a solar eclipse, as the moon is the darkest at this time. Yeah? So let's talk about June's solar eclipse now. Now, we have a solar eclipse taking place in Gemini on June the 21st at approximately 7 a.m. UTC in the nakshatra of Mrigashira at 6 degrees. This eclipse is caused by Rahu, which is about 1 degree away, so this makes it an intense eclipse. We have Mercury about 14 degrees away in Gemini in the nakshatra of Punarvasu. We also have a close aspect from Mars situated in Pisces at this time, 10 houses away from Gemini. Mars's aspect is doubly important because it's the controlling planet of Mrigashira. Many people at this time will have their careers on their mind, and with Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, in retrograde, there may be adjustments, changes, and a lot of reflection about careers and how we make money just generally. Of course, again, this affects the Gemini and Sagittarius directly, but also those who have personal planets close to the eclipse degree. We have 4 planets retrograde at this time. We have the Sun and Moon being eclipsed. Then we of course have Mars in direct and sitting in Purvabhadra, whose controlling planet is Jupiter. That Mars is receiving an aspect of a retrograde Saturn, and of course the Rashi Drishti of all the planets in Gemini and Sagittarius. This eclipse takes place in the 4th pada of Mrigashira in the Scorpio Navamsha. This is yet another reason Mars's position in this eclipse becomes very important. Unlike the eclipse that we just had in the difficult nakshatra of Jyeshta, this is a more benign energy. It's a softer nakshatra, Mrigashira. However, being that it's falling in the 4th pada and landing in the Scorpio Navamsha, we may still experience a letting go of sorts in various areas of our life. See what Gemini represents for you. If it's your 2nd or 11th house, then this could be related to money and income. If it's your 7th house, you may be reevaluating your partnerships. With a Mercury retrograde in the mix, it's important not to come to conclusions as we may not be thinking clearly. Communications could be muddled at this time, creating chances of misunderstanding. So check and double check all your communications, especially written ones. Again, it's not the best time to travel, so avoid it if you can. I would say wait till we pass the eclipse in July to make any movements. Yeah? So continue to stay patient and reflect at this time is what I would suggest. Now, Mrigashira is known as the searching star, which is another reason why this time is best for contemplation, reflection, planning, not to make big final decisions and movements, especially connected to the areas that are related to Gemini in your chart. Some favorable activities include arts, healing and rejuvenation, education, planning a shift, shifting your home, moving to a new location, communication of all sorts. Any creative pursuits are also favored at this time. Health, spiritual initiations, any regenerating activity is a good way to spend this time, especially since it's connecting with the Scorpio Navamsha. Avoid confrontations or combat if you can, and avoid making big long-term decisions. You can reflect on the decisions that you've already made and plan, but initiating new big movements is not it's not the time. Wait another month, I would say. Predominant tendency of Mrigashira is doubting everything and being suspicious. This is especially the case in the 4th pada of the Scorpio Navamsha. So again, best not to make any big decisions at this time, as you may not be getting the whole picture or seeing things clearly. It's best to spend this time simplifying your life if possible, especially to the areas connected to Gemini in your chart. And especially if you have personal planets sitting around that eclipse degree of Mrigashira. I've written a detailed monthly forecast posted on my website where you can read more about it. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you, folks. Cheers.